It is Saturday, March 21st, and I thought I'd recap quickly my trades from the week of March 16th. Um, it's it's another tough week. Actually, it was a break-even week, but it doesn't feel like it. What I mean by that is two trades were break even. However, they would have been losses if I didn't move to break even. And I moved to break even earlier than I normally would, more earlier than I wanted to, really. But I just felt like there was no follow through. There was just continued price would move up, fall back to my entry, move up. Like there was no momentum, no follow through. I didn't feel good about it. So I moved to break even. And yeah, so one of those trades was Monday. This was contract rollover day. And I took a long, it did go in my favor pretty decently. I think over 60 points, but it was short of my target by about 15 points. And I moved to break even and it would have been a loss. So Tuesday, I took a long, it moved in my favor probably a little more than halfway to TP. It wasn't very much though, maybe 24 points. And normally I do not want to move to break even that early. But again, like no momentum, no follow through. So I moved to break even and it got stopped out of break even. Wednesday was FOMC day. I generally want to like not trade FOMC days. The past few have been choppy. My setups don't work, but when you're learning, when you're in this phase of you just don't have it together, it's really hard to just write a day off. Like half days, holidays, FOMC days, like I feel like you still want to be on the chart. You still want to learn. You still want to look for your setups. And so anyways, of course I was on the computer, but I did move to eval on this day. I was not willing to risk my live on FOMC day. And the reality is, after looking at my data, I can't keep trading live. I keep losing. I've lost the max I was willing to lose. Part of me was sort of willing to keep going though, because I felt like I was following the process. I was taking trades that met my setups and my models, but for some reason I was just losing. And so the other thing was I really lacked confidence and I had to go back to eval. So I took a losing trade. It did go in my favor eventually, but I got stopped out first right here, probably by about 10 points or so. So that was pretty annoying. Thursday, I did not take a trade. This is a day I realized hesitation is really starting to be a problem for me. What's interesting is that I thought that being more selective on trades was a good thing. But what it's led me to is being hesitant. So I was actually looking for a short here. I didn't get my signal, so that's okay. I then kind of wanted to enter short here. I think I jotted it in like a forward testing section of my trading journal where I don't enter the trade, but I sort of think it's a good trade, so I'll document it. And then of course I was annoyed I wasn't in the trade, because that was about a 100-point move. So yeah, no trades. I just watched trades win without me. Friday, I had the same problem where I considered entering a trade. I hesitated, I was too unsure, and it was a 100-point trade. And this is when I realized I've got to start, I need to start forcing myself. And I don't know, it's very hard for me to overcome. I feel like the narrative that I tell myself when I'm considering trades is the trades you take lose. If you enter, it's going to lose. And then I just get nervous. And I don't think that's made up. I mean, if I look at my results, I see I've mostly lost my trades. And I asked ChatGPT why that's the case. And I think what it said was right. I'm not entering on trades that feel too risky, feel uncomfortable, feel I'm uncertain of, because I'm waiting for the perfect trade, because that was me being more selective. But then I'm missing out on good trades. I'm missing out on big moves. And that is super frustrating to me. I then forced myself to take a short right here, and I did get 45 points, and I remember feeling like shocked, like I couldn't believe that it worked. So that was interesting. I hadn't had a winning trade, and so I lost all my trades this week, and in general I have a really poor win rate, so I just felt shocked. Yeah, and it's actually a little bit different from my models. So I have specific models I'm looking for, but something I actually want to start doing is trading reactions at my levels. So my levels are just session highs and lows, no secret there. And I generally know when I'm looking for a short and when I'm looking for a long off these levels. So for example, here I knew I was looking for a short off the Asia low, but I was just too hesitant to. So next week, what I want to focus on is I need to get rid of this hesitation that I have. And I'm on my eval, so I really need to see it as it's an experiment. Let me see if it works. Take the trades that I know I like. Well, that's hard because if I only take trades I like, what I find is I take a really small percentage. Trades I consider entering. I need to force myself to do it, and I don't exactly know what I need to do to get myself to be in a different frame of mind of more like, let's just see how this goes. Let me just experiment. I'm just collecting data, and look at it that way. I need to somehow rewire my brain to think of taking risks as the necessary step to reaching my goals and being where I want to be, because it's costing me. I see it over and over again, and it's so frustrating. So I did take a win today, which offset my loss from FOMC day, and then Monday and Tuesday trades were break even. So actually it was a break even week, and actually I made about 5 points of profit. This was a 45 point win. I lost 40 points. But with fees and all that, I'm probably in the hole actually. So that was my trading week. Next week, I want to focus on giving myself a little bit more flexibility and grace in taking trades. I do have specific models. I know when I'm looking for a long and a short, and I need to get rid of this. I need to find ways to figure out how to help me get out of this hesitation thing. So that is what I'm going to be working on next week. So anyways, I hope you had a good week, or having a good weekend, and I will talk to you next week.